I was in the kitchen the other day. I know, regular occurrence for me. I'm a tubby lad, you know. I've got to get my sustenance. But I was rooting through the cupboards.
Yeah.
And I spotted something that I have not seen for many years.
What was that?
And it is the toastie maker.
Oh, yeah. I forgot we got one of them.
Yeah, and the problem when you get a toastie maker is suddenly you go, oh, I've got a toastie maker. I'm going to make a whole bunch of toasties.
Yeah.
So we've been eating non-stop toasties for the last, 2-3 weeks now, something like that. I'm starting to get to the point where I'm just a little bit sick of toasties now. But I don't want to forget that I've got the toasting machine. But it is that time to give it a good old clean, because otherwise it'll properly rot.
Yes.
You know the next time you're going to see it's going to be...
It's got bean juice on.
It's going to be years down the line, isn't it? So going to have to give it a proper clean, put it in the cupboard, forget we've got it for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Find it again when I'm looking for something else, go, I'm going to make toasties. So, going to ask that question of you. What is that one thing you've got, but you never use? So, you know, the toasting machine's a great example of that. I suppose the one that Jenny's going to have a go at me for is the greenhouse, isn't it?
Yes, we've had a greenhouse in the garage for, 3 years? We moved in here 3 years ago.
Something like that, yes.
Yeah, so I still, let's put it this way, the greenhouse is still in the garage in boxes.
Yeah, it's nowhere near built, haven't even got the concrete base for it sorted out. Nothing has happened yet, but every so often I go into the garage and go, oh yeah, I was supposed to put a greenhouse up, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Usually I find it in the middle of winter.
Yeah.
So I've got an excuse not to put it up, because the concrete's never going to set in the rain and the snow and things like that.
If anybody out there can lay a base, please help.
WWAP might be able to help. Just popped up on the chat with wavy hands and saying toasties are nice.
Ooh.
So maybe we might find a way to use the toasting machine to help put up the greenhouse.
Do you think?
I'm not sure about that.
Check his credentials out. He may be a builder.
We'll see. It's quite possible. So the question we're asking you, what is that one thing that you've got but you never use? It just sits there gathering dust, not doing anything. You wasted money on it and you've just not got what you expected out of it. The way to get in touch and tell us the answer to that question, call, text, WhatsApp, voice note, all that kind of stuff. 07367 85 85 47. That's 07367 85 85 47.
There was a time when strangers were welcome here.
Not a song you normally hear on a wee natter. By request for Stephen, Neil Sedaka, but it'll still get stuck in your head. It's The Immigrants, and on a slightly different note, we are chatting about those things that you have bought. You might have put a lot of money into, but they sit in a cupboard or in the garage and never get used. A few of you have been in touch, including Sandra saying, I have a blender. Still in the box. Extra points if it's made by a company that doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Or it's got the old electrical wiring that does it. You wonder whether it'd be safe or not to use.
Yeah, I've got a coffee machine that I never use. I've used it a couple of times and then that's never used anymore, is it? And I thought that would be the most fantastic thing to have, proper coffee. And I don't mean one of those posh ones, like, you know, it's got the psh on with the milk and all of that. It's not one of them.
So it's not coffee shop barista level.
No, it's
stuff.
not barista level.
Okay.
It's just one that you put your filter in and you put your coffee powder, granules, what are they, beans? You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Put your water in and then the coffee comes out. I don't like it. It's a bit too strong. I want one of those proper posh ones, but I'm frightened I'll never use it again.
You do know those things cost like 20 grand for a top end?
Yeah, we'll leave that one there.
cost more than the house worth. Hank saying, I have a motorcycle, but I don't use it. It is still in my garage under 4 blankets.
Wow, 4 blankets.
Kind of the opposite of the lad I saw today who's got this beater of a car he was running around Mansfield in, making an absolute racket, almost like it didn't have an exhaust on it or something like that. And I'll admit, a little bit of Schadenfreude here, but he made a lot of noise flying around this junction I was waiting to cross, being a pedestrian, you know, wandering around, doing that sort of thing. And then his car just conks out. Just comes to a complete stop, no noise, don't start.
Was he showing off?
Well, he did have his missus with him, so I assume there was a level of showing off. PG31 Cat saying, I bought one of those cube-shaped lights that makes your ceiling look like the ocean.
Oh, I saw those on Facebook advertised. They look great.
They sound like a little kiddie's projector thing, you know, like for seeing the stars or something like that. I have no idea what they are, but I'm assuming it's something along that sort of lines.
Yeah, it's kind of, you know, like this, not that you can see, but you know, like this is on the window ledge. Just show everybody that.
Well, a big
like
glass
a crackle
bowl.
effect.
Crackle
and you
glass
light
bowl.
it. And all that effect goes on the ceiling and the walls. And you can get different ones and you can change the colours on them. And it looks like, you know, like the ripples of the water and things. It looks really good.
The upshot of the crackled glass effect is that when I inevitably drop it, as clumsy as I am, Jenny doesn't notice I get away with it. Anne saying a slow cooker still in its box, never used.
No, we do use ours, don't we?
It's a little pot thing that it just heats up throughout the day.
Yes.
I always stare at it going,
You hate it.
A, I'm not a big fan of that sort of food anyway.
No.
But B, I'm also looking at it going, that's just full of bacteria.
Oh, I never thought of it. Like, I sling it in the night before, so in the morning I can scoop some out, put it in a bowl and take it for lunch, but it does smell the whole house out, doesn't it?
Yeah, and back to your coffee thing, Sandra points out that capsules for posh coffee machines are very expensive. They are. So you end up having to get knockoff ones, except there's now really, really fancy machines that only work with the official ones that got little microchips in them.
No, really?
It's almost as bad as printer ink.
Wow.
And printer ink costs more than gold.